Dear students, we are explaining subsidiary books. So purchase book, purchase returns book, sales book and sales returns book we have explained. We know that journal has got 8 subsidiary books. Now 2 more I am going to explain in this module, that is bills receivable book and bills payable book. And the other 2 books, that is cash book and journal proper, I will be explaining only after explaining the ledger, because I have to show the postings also. Now you have not learned the posting, so if I will not explain the ledger, then cash account and all, you will find it difficult. So to avoid that, after that explaining the ledger module, I will be explaining cash book and journal proper. So here bills payable and bills receivable book I am going to explain. So bills receivable book and bills payable book. How bills will come in a business transaction. So you know that for every business, 97% of the transactions are credit transactions. See, regular suppliers will be there for purchasing goods, regular customers will be there for selling the goods. So both the people, they have to allow credit sales and credit purchases. So that is very important to sustain in the competitive world. So that means the seller will make an instrument when he is making a credit sales. So this document is the bill of exchange. If you collect payment immediately after the sale, then it's a cash sale. There is no risk involved. But when it's a credit transaction, there's a risk involved, because the customer will get the item, but the seller has to wait for some period, maybe 1 month or 2 months or 3 months or whatever the terms between the people or between the parties, they have to wait for the payment. So one party is getting the item immediately, but one party has to accept that at a later stage. So there is a need for writing the bill of exchange. That is the instrument between the parties, that the other party, whoever got the item, they will make the payment on a future date. So payment will be received by the seller. So it is the bills receivable for the firm. Whereas for the customer has to make the payment. So it will be bill payable for him. So bills receivable for the firm and bill payable for the customer. So bills can be classified into 2. One is bills receivable and second one is bills payable. Now what are the features of credit sale? I told you in the cash sale there is no risk involved. But when it will come to credit sale, cash payment, cash is collected in the credit sale, cash will be collected at a future date. Whereas the customer got the item immediately, but customer is asking for time for payment. So the risk is involved with the seller. Now goods or services are immediately transferred to the buyer. That is why the buyer already got the item. Now seller will get the payment after a future date. So that is whatever the time agreed between both the parties. So there is risk involved in collecting the payment. Now what is bills receivable book? So the firm receives a number of bills or promissory notes. Either they will get a bill or a promissory note from the customer. Promissory note meaning he is promising that he will make a payment on a future date. So now if you want, we know the journal, all the transactions, if you will put it in the journal, it will become very voluminous. It will be tedious work. We cannot trace any transactions from the journal. So what we will do, journalizing these transactions will be a tedious work. So the firm will keep a register to record all receipts known as bills receivable book. Similarly, bills payable book also will be there. So at a glance, immediately, any reference we can take the information immediately. So bills receivable book contains the details of bills payment has to be received by the firm. So what all credit sales they made and what all amount they have to collect from the customers will be there in the bills receivable book. Now format of the bills receivable book is given. It has got 8 columns. First will be the serial number, date will be there, from whom the bill is received. The customer's name will be there. Term of the bill will be there, 1 month, 2 months, 10 days, 2 weeks, whatever that. Due date of the bill. When you are calculating due date of the bill, days of grace is very important. See, for example, if you are writing a bill on January 1st and the duration is 3 months, that meaning January, February, March. Now April 1st, they will get 3 days of grace. That meaning April 4th only the validity of the bill. That meaning 3 months and 3 days of grace. That means January, a bill drawn on January 1st, duration is 3 months, meaning due date will be April 4th. Now ledger folio column will be there. That is to write where the ledger account will appear. Now amount of the bill will be there and remarks will be there. Remarks if it's delaying and if there is any default in earlier collection and all, everything will be recorded. Now First problem, two problems I am going to explain, three problems I am going to explain. One for bills receivable book, one for bills payable book, and one a combined problem. So here you have to remember, Mrs. S&N Company Bangalore received the following bills for the month of January 2020. Prepare bills receivable book. So 2020 January 1st, drew on Satish a bill of exchange for 3 months, which was accepted and returned by him on the same day. The amount of the bill is 10,000. So that bill 10,000 for Satish we have to write. Second one is January 5th, drew a bill on Girish for 2 months, which was accepted by him on the same day. The amount of the bill is 25,000. Next is January 8th, drew a bill on Vivek for 1 month, which was accepted on same day for rupees 30,000. So these three bills we are going to record in the bills receivable book. So bills receivable book, same 8 columns will be there. So the first one, Satish bill. Duration was 3 months. So I told you January 3 months, January, February, March, and 3 days of grace. So April 4th is the due date of the bill and amount of the bill is 10,000. Second one is Girish. The bill is for 2 months. So January 5th, February 5th, March 5th, but 3 days of grace. So March 8th will be the due date. Validity of the bill is, but the value of the bill is 25,000. Next is January 8th. January 8th and 1 month. 1 month meaning February 8th is the due date plus 3 days of grace. So we are getting February 11th as the due date. Always you have to remember, for bills 3 days of grace is allowed. The duration plus 3 days. That is how always you take the due date. So the value of the third bill is 30,000. So total bills to be collected by the firm is 65,000. So they know that within 3 months they can collect 10,000. Within 2 months they can collect 25,000. Within 1 month they can collect 30,000. So this book is useful for making their analysis about the collection procedure. If it is delayed, they can take proper action. So that is the advantage. So this we will get at a glance, what all bills we have to collect and how much is the amount due, whether they are paid on time, all the details we will get. So that is the advantage of maintaining bills receivable book. Now bills payable book. So the subsidiary book contains details regarding bills accepted by the firm. See, the firm also will be purchasing items on credit. So that will be bills payable for the firm. So that also we have to make the subsidiary book, because we want to know when we have to make the payment, what is the duration for the bill, when the firm has to have the cash to make the payment. So bills payable journal records details of bills issued to creditors. When the firm is buying goods on credit, which all bills are issued to the suppliers and when it will come for payment and what will be the amount. So this we can prepare the bills payable book. So bills payable book format also is given. Similarly, 8 columns will be there. First is serial number, then date of acceptance of the bill. When the bill was accepted, January 1st, February 1st, whatever the date. To whom acceptance is given. The supplier's name will be there. Term of bill will be there. What is the duration? 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, that duration will be there. Due date. Due date here also you have to remember 3 days of grace the firm will get. Firm is allowing 3 days of grace. Firm will also get 3 days of grace for their payment. Ledger folio, that is where the ledger account is posted. That is the reference. Then amount of the bill will be there and remarks will be there. Whether they were able to pay on time, whether there is any problem in the remarks column, they can mention that. So the problem, Mr. A accepted the following bills. Enter the details in the bills payable book. First one is 2020 February 1st. Accepted Mr. Harry's bill for rupees 20,000 due at 2 months. Second one is February 5th. Accepted the bill drawn by Mr. Mohan for rupees 10,000 at 1 month. First one was 2 months. Second one is 1 month. Third is February 10th. Accepted Mr. Satish's bill for rupees 15,000 payable after 4 months. So these 3 bills we have to enter. So bills payable book of Mr. A. So same the format, date of acceptance of the bill. First is 2020 February 1st. The party is Mr. Hari and term of the bill is 2 months. So February, March and 3 days of grace. February, March and April. So April 4th will be the due date of the bill and amount of the bill is 20,000. Similarly, February 5th and duration, that is from Mr. Mohan, it's for 1 month. That meaning February 5th, March 5th will be the actual date plus 3 days. So we are getting March 8th. So it is 10,000. Now February 10th we are getting from Sati and 4 months. So that means February, March, April, May and June. So 10 meaning February, June 10 meaning plus 3 days of grace. So it will be June 13th. So we are getting 15,000. So total bills payable by the firm is 45,000. So the firm can be clear about that. On April 4 they have to arrange 20,000 to make payment to Hari. 10,000 they have to make on March 8 to make payment to Mohan. And 15,000 they have to arrange on June 15 to make payment to Sati. So this bills payable book will give at a glance what the payment schedule for the firm. So this is very helpful in arranging the cash for the payments. So if they should not default the payment, because once the payment is defaulted, it will affect the credit worthiness of the firm. So making the payment on time or before that is very important for the firm, and this bills payable book will help them in making the payment on time. Next is the third problem, where I am going to explain bills receivable book and bills payable book. So 5 transactions are there. 3 will be bills receivable and 2 will be bills payable. So prepare bills payable and bills receivable book from the following information. 2020 October 1st. Acceptance received from Mrs. Neena for rupees 15,000 payable after 3 months. Second one is October 5th, acceptance given to Mrs. Sheeja's bill for rupees 30,000 payable after 3 months. Next is October 10th, acceptance received from Mr. Faisal for rupees 10,000 payable after 60 days. Next is October 15th, accepted Mr. Vinu's bill for rupees 1,000 payable after 4 months. October 20th, Mrs. Veena's acceptance for rupees 17,000 payable after 80 days received. So now we will see how we will write it in the bills receivable book and bills payable book. So bills receivable book has got 3 parties. So one is Neena. So the same format we have to follow, 8-column statement, and you have to write the details. 3 people are there, serial number 1, 2, 3. Date is, first one is 2020 October 1st. From whom the bill is received? Neena. Term of the bill is 3 months. So October 1st, October, November, December, January. So January plus 3 days of grace, January 4th, 15,000 you have to write that. Now next bill is October 10th from Faisal, 60 days, that means 2 months. So October, November, December 10th. December 10th plus 3 days of grace, December 13th. Value is 10,000. Next is October 20th from Veena, 80 days. So 2 months and 20 days. So that meaning January 11th will be the due date. Value is 17,000. So total bill value will be 42,000. So 3 parties we have entered in the bills receivable book. Other 2 we are recording in the bills payable book. So bills payable book. So 2 parties are there. One is Sheeja, 3 months, and 2. So here you have to remember October 5th they are collecting the details. October 5th they are giving acceptance for the bill. 3 months meaning October, November, December and January 5th plus 3 days of grace. So it will become January 8th. Value is 30,000. Now October 5th the bill received from bills accepted from Binu. So that is 4 months. That meaning October, November, December, January, February. February 15th plus 3 days of grace. So it will become February 18th. Value is 10,000. So bills payable by the firm is 31,000. And bills receivable by the firm value also we got. So the firm can make, see whatever the value they can collect from other customers, and how we can make the cash available for making the payment. So that will be available from the bills payable book. So this is very important, and this is very helpful for the firm to make appropriate decisions about cash collections and cash payments. So this is the importance of this subsidiary books. One is bills receivable book and bills payable book. So you have to remember that we are not journalizing all the transactions in the journals. We will not get any idea by referring a very big book. It will be very difficult. So what we will do? We will keep the subsidiary books, bills receivable and bills payable, and I have explained how it will be helpful for the firm to decide their collection policy and payment policy. So this is what I want to explain, and the next module I am going to explain the ledger. So that's very important before explaining cash book and journal proper, because I want to explain that how each item is posted into different accounts. So subsidiary books, 6 books we have explained. Now we will go to the next module is ledger. So that is very, very important. From there we will prepare the trial balance, and from there we will prepare the final accounts. So it's very, very important. So please remember that this module is very, very important, and do the extra problems given in the description box. So happy learning with Dr. Alice Mani. Please subscribe, promote and share my channel. Thank you.